All right, y'all. I hope you got those big stretches in because we're in for a journey here with our new wolf friend. Because clearly that's the most important part of this game, isn't it, Soulmass? Is Neva. I'm sorry, I almost blanked out. That's Neva any percent story mode. Take it away.
Hello, hello. Thank you for the intro, Zoku. Yes, this is Neva, and I will be playing any percent story mode. Neva is our wolf friend indeed, and with me I also have my friend BD. BD, do you want to shout yourself out while I get the new game started? It made me cry
Hey,
as
I'm
well.
BD. I have
Timer
played
is
this
not going
game.
to start
It made me
just yet, but it
cry.
will be starting as soon as I gain control of Alba, who is our main character, who is the companion with Neva. So we're going to be starting here in the summer of Chapter 1, and I'll be gaining control once we zoom in here on Alba and Neva hanging out in the forest. And I'll try and count this down as best as I can. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So yeah, this is Neva. This is a game made by Nomada Studio. You may know them for their critically acclaimed first game, Grease. And if you pay attention to this game, you'll notice it shares a lot of the same DNA. It's kind of built off of the same formula as Grease. In this first area, we're just getting introduced to the gameplay elements of movement and interacting with Neva. As you can see when we start off the game, Neva is a puppy. And as a puppy, we're going to be spending a lot of this first section of the game teaching Neva about the world, how to take care of herself, and how to be a good companion to us. Very, very blue path coded, in my opinion.
You'll see Soulmass doing this sort of weird sort of dash mechanic. That is the fastest way to move horizontally. Yes, also, there is a dedicated pet button, and it is a required game mechanic to pet Neva. So this is the best game that you will ever play because petting the dog is required.
Yes, very good.
I would just like to say what the audience is all
it
thinking.
does, as a speedrunner, it's a little annoying in this first area because, yeah, it does slow you down with all these required interactions. But it's so cute that I don't really mind it at all. Here, Neva's going to encounter this cliff that she can't climb up. They're going to have to teach her that there's different ways to approach situations, like climbing up and jumping over from above. Good job, Neva. She's going to have a little reward herself right there. And then, yeah, like BD said, the main movement mechanic in this game is this jump dash. If you're familiar with the speedrun for Grease, it's similar in that Grease, you're doing just jumping over and over to be your fastest movement. Hold on one sec, I need to do another interaction. Make sure Neva doesn't fall down here. There we go, it's alright, I got you. Alright, so the fastest movement in this game, though, is going to be our air dash. So we're going to jump and immediately air dash to go a little bit quicker. So it's just timing jumps and immediate air dashes. If you ever see me do a little hop like that, it's because I accidentally jumped a little too quick before landing on the ground. The fastest way to move is obviously to try and stay as close to the ground as possible while maintaining these air dashes. Right here, it's just a little movement section where we're following these butterflies around. Again, reminiscent of Grease. And it's just teaching us about platforming and stuff. So, Zoku, if you got anything you want to talk about for a couple, like 30 seconds, a minute here, you're good to go.
Sure thing. So upcoming, we do have another game featuring more animal companions. That's going to be Banjo-Tooie, run by 8129. And as part of our milestones that we have open, if we reach $4,200 raised, we're going to get a glitch exhibition at the end of that run. So sorry, it's about like 40 minutes into the run to get that showcase. So we don't really have that much time because, again, we are a speedrun marathon. We're running faster together, including towards that milestone. So go ahead and get those donations in. Any donation, because it's a milestone, any donation you make counts towards getting that unlocked and also towards our $5,000 goal of naming a puppy for Blue Path. And
I would love
we
that so
could
much.
maybe name that puppy Neva.
That would be
So here we finished
so
this
wonderful.
little section with the butterflies. You're going to see me if we're on an incline or a decline. I'm just going to be rolling because that actually is a little bit faster than doing the jumps. But yeah, here's our first big pan out and beautiful moment where we're seeing how beautiful this game's art design is. Also a little nod to Journey there in the background, which has been a huge inspiration for this entire subgenre of artistic platformer games. Yeah, shout out to the giant boar. Surely we'll never see them again.
Shout out to the giant boar. Never again.
Momentarily,
Well,
we
now
are
I'm
going to be
worried.
introduced to our main villain of the game, which is, if you've ever seen Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke, it's this this corruption which is going to start taking over this forest. Another Studio Ghibli movie that you'll notice some inspirations from is Spirited Away, as all the enemies in the game will look a little familiar if you've ever seen that movie. But we'll get to them a little bit later. First, we got to deal with these hands. This is the introduction to this game having combat, unlike Greece. Yeah, Alba's so cool. I wish I was as cool as Alba.
Get a sword.
Sword,
Alba's
wolf
unstoppable.
companion. What can she do?
This game is gorgeous. This game is fun, but also, like, as a platformer, this game is so smooth. Like, just the feeling of doing all of these movements, it feels as good to play as it looks, which is a really, like, a really big testament to how well it's made, that it looks this good. But if you're looking at this being like, oh, this looks good, trust me, it plays as well as it
Here,
looks.
there's this. Yeah, here's a section where we have to destroy all of these arms to save Neva,
that's
but
not
really
good.
you don't have to destroy them. All you have to do is spawn them in and damage boost through them. This is our introduction to why story mode ends up being faster than adventure mode in the game. Because we don't have a health bar, so we can just damage boost through all of the enemies. So it makes a lot of the combat encounters a lot easier and faster.
I confess to being Zelda pilled, and I can only see a gloom hand.
There is no way that they are not
They
inspired at
terrify
some
me.
point by Gloom Hands.
So if I can ask, in the green room, we were talking a little about how a lot of this run will be skipping the cutscenes, which is great for those of us looking to avoid spoilers and enjoy the game for ourselves. But would you mind maybe giving a basic overview
yeah.
about? Like,
So
in
really,
addition
the
to
game, as you'll
corruption,
see as we
what
progress through,
Alpha's
is going to
go here?
be thematically about the balance between life and death, and basically the circle of life. Here's a cool part where we can just damage boost through everything and dodge through everything, so we don't have to actually kill any of these. So yeah, we're going to be journeying through all the different seasons across the game, starting in the summer, ending in the winter, and then the spring. And as we go through all the seasons, thematically we'll also be growing up with Neva. Neva's going to get older. This is our first combat encounter. Let's It's a real simple one. A lot of the time saving this game is trying to do the combat encounters as quickly as possible. That wasn't amazing, but it was okay. But you can see the enemies, like I said, if you've seen Spirited Away, they look a lot like No Face. There's a
They
ton
really
of them.
do. There's a lot of Ghibli references in this game, isn't there?
There's a ton. You're going to, in these combat sections, you're going to see Soulmass do a lot of down slashes, Zelda 2 style. Those are your strongest attack, but they're also really fast. So it's a great combination of powerful attack and quick attack, because a lot of times with these combat sections, there are going to be elements of it that require pretty strict timing to get through them as fast as possible, and being able to really fine-tune where and how strong you attack an enemy does make a difference over the course
Here we get our
of
introduction
the
to these
entire
thorns,
run.
which are the main feature of this portion of the summer, the night portion, as well as the enemies, these no faces that pop out that if you kill them, they get rid of all the thorns. So this is where we start learning about how we have a double jump ability and the actual air dashes and all of that stuff. And the game hasn't actually taught us about having the down slash yet, but it's going to very shortly.
Yeah, there are a lot of things in this game that Alba can do that the game explains to you over the course of time, but you are able to do them from the beginning. So if you notice, there was a period where the game told us how to dodge, and we've been dodging since frame 1. So, and there it is. To that point, that's where we learn about the down slash. So the game isn't gated by time. Like, you can do everything right off the start, which means like the speed run gets right into the speed tech. There's very little like technical ramp up. Like, you're right there from the very beginning.
And the further you get into the game, okay, got another combat encounter here, but the further you get in, the more it becomes about optimal platforming on top of these encounters. Right now, we don't really have too much going on with the platforming, but the platforming will get more difficult as we get deeper into the game. That guy respawned up on the ledge. I don't like that. It's fine, though. That still went pretty well.
So, correct
Yeah,
me if
I
I'm
know
wrong, but for the most
part
combat
where they're
encounters
going to
are
spawn
largely
in,
scripted.
so I can try and get them to do exactly what I want based off of how I fight them. So like BD said, I'm trying to do moves in a specific way to kill them in specific ways, knock them across the screen in specific fashion. Right here, I'm trying to outrun these thorns so I can get directly to this. Otherwise, I gotta do all that platforming to get over here. So, again, that's much faster. As long as you keep moving, you get over to that no face before the thorns spawn in. And we've got another big vista to admire.
I cannot overstate how amazing it is to play this game and just immerse yourself in the entire environment of it. Like, the game is built to bring you in and have you experience it.
I love that
Like,
you're talking about
as you play,
experiencing the
and
game. It's
yeah,
like
we
just
can
go
skip
and just
that.
not
That's pretty
experience
cool.
it. Yeah,
That's for no. Well, here's the thing. You're going to see us do that a few times, and all that should be is a cue to you to go back and play this for
Yeah,
yourself, so you
there's-
can experience all of the sequences that we're going to be skipping for the speed run.
ooh,
And
nice.
hey, if you donate, you have a chance to win this game too. Just saying.
That is true.
So !donate in chat, or maybe clicking on that handy donate banner underneath the stream. Send us a donation on Tiltify. Maybe make a funny comment about what you would name your pet, because we're totally naming the Blue Path dog that we're going to name by reaching $5,000 total raise for Blue Path Neva. But I'd love to hear your pet names. So send them in a donation. get a chance to
So
win
as you can see,
this
Neva
beautiful
is
game.
a little separate from us at the moment, but not really in danger. I mean, the game is called Neva, right? Nothing could happen to Neva. And here, just
Nothing
another
at all.
combat encounter I'm trying to do as quick as possible, which again, that went pretty well. And then I'll hit this no face as soon as it spawns in. And we are on our way. And this part right here, you can see Neva up there at the top needs to be rescued from these thorns. Let's get on that. This is where the game starts doing some stuff that you might recognize from level design in Greece, where you have to go like right first, then left to unlock progression. So first we're going to go over to the right, do this part, which is going to get rid of some thorns. Then we're going to go back over to the left. It's these little mini hub areas. Now, one of the things we can do, since on the leaderboard we do time this game with load remove time. So here, if I had quit out after that first section on the left and then respawned in, it would have put me closer to the middle, and that would have saved time on loads. But I mean, since we're in a marathon setting, I'm not going to be doing quit outs. And that's it. We've now cleared all the thorns. We are past this first hub area. Just going to carefully platform our way over to Neva. And we'll keep on moving. I like these little moments like this because they give me a chance to grab a little sippy. And I encourage all of you to stay hydrated as well. And now we've rescued Neva. We are reunited, and we'll continue our journey. But we are almost done with the summer. Just this quick combat encounter where I go to the center for a couple of these guys, knock them over to the right. Next one's going to spawn right here. And, oh, he got hit by the arms. That's annoying. Then we'll just call Neva over and we can proceed. And here we just want to fall. There's no fall damage in the game. So if you know where to fall that has a platform underneath you, you can just fall all the way down. And then once again, here's another hub section. This one, thankfully, don't have to do left and right. We only have to go over here to the right. And it's going to actually loop back around to the left. But I like to call this section the Hollow Knight section because these little thorny paths remind me of Hollow Knight for some reason.
And again, the biggest advantage we have of playing on story mode is the fact that there is no damage to take. If you were playing on adventure mode, you would have a health bar, and yes, there would be a lot more care put into avoiding and mitigating damage. The game is very generous when it comes to giving you health back. You earn health back when you keep a combo going on enemies, and also at various... You might have seen us pass a few of those big fountains that don't seem to do anything for us here, but if you're playing on adventure mode, serve as checkpoints and as health refills. And here we're going to get
a little flower,
nice
just to
little
denote
flower.
that we've cleared the obstacle that was holding us up in that hub area. Our reward is to be able to progress. But we got this cool little ascent section coming up right here, which teaches us about dash jumping. So when you dash jump through things, which we already knew, you won't take any damage. So a lot of the stuff is going to be a jump, dash, and then trigger a double jump to get the most distance through things. We're going to be using that in a moment to try and skip a portion of this upcoming little puzzle. So by hitting the gong here, you can have these platforms move from either the left or the right side of the screen. I'm going to try and... I'm going to try and jump from the top here without hitting the gong again. Nope, didn't quite make it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the gong. But you can barely make that jump. Yes, you can barely make that jump if you do it
That is
just
an
right.
incredibly tight jump.
But I didn't lose a lot of time by falling down and having to hit the gong, so it's always worth going for. And we are about to encounter our boss of the summer section. On story mode, bosses again, not super challenging. It's just about damaging them as quickly as possible to end the boss fight as quickly as possible. So I'll be focusing on doing timed slashes, trying not to get hit, and doing a few ground pounds or down slashes to deal big damage and get staggers. So that was a big attack there. Nice stagger. Gonna do a ground pound because he's doing this attack. It's gonna always hit me no matter what. And this should kill him with a couple more slashes. There we go.
Nice fight. Gosh, Alba's so cool.
All right, that's going to be the end of the summer. It is time to progress into the fall. Now, the fall is what I like to call Neva's teenage phase. Neva's going to be a little edgier here, a little more independent, and a little angrier. It's very relatable.
As teenagers are wont to do.
But we'll see that Neva can very much start to take care of herself at this point, but will, from this point forward, become more of an actual companion to us. We'll start unlocking abilities that we use with Neva, so I look forward to showing you all that. I love seeing all of the growing relationship of Alba and Neva across the game. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's just such a touching way to start each season.
So as you can see, now that we're in the fall, there's a lot more corruption. And you can see also, Neva can take care of herself. She's had enough. She's had enough of this stuff with these.
Neva's had it. Neva's had it.
These phantoms or ghosts or whatever they are. But again, just want to shout out how beautiful the art design is in this game. Like Grease, one of my favorite games of all time. But then
so
Neva
good.
is just on the same level, really. Slightly different because they went with a slightly different like style, but very much the same vibes. I really dig Neva. This guy being annoying. I'm just gonna focus on these guys. Let Neva take care of him. Yeah.
Neva's got you. Yeah, I can't overstate how much this game really, rather than tell you everything and just put it out there, it forces you to engage with it. It forces you to really interpret what you're seeing, interpret what you're hearing, and it makes you feel what the game wants to make you feel, which is a really powerful way of designing a game. So it's one of the most
it's a lot like
powerful
Grease. It's
experiences I've had
all
playing games in a long
environmental
time.
storytelling. So as you progress through, it's just little stuff you'll notice in the backgrounds and little animations of things going on, tell you everything you need to know. Here we have finally encountered ladders, which are these vines with white flowers on them. Climbing them is slow. So what we're going to do is let go, double jump, and re-grab up every ladder that we see. Or at least most of them. Yeah, if you've never heard of a re-grab, we're doing re-grabs.
I'm not familiar with the term.
I didn't have to hit that guy, but I wanted to.
It feels good. By the way,
Oh,
Neva
yeah.
is a lot
Neva's
better
got
at
this on
jumping
lockdown.
than she was in summer.
Almost didn't get enough height there. We good, though. And yeah, this is just again, environmental storytelling. It's just showing Neva taking out these dudes on her own. We don't have to worry about them. You see the stuff breaking up in the background, these floating islands. This part here is just about timing, knocking all these guys off at the same time. Neva takes care of the last one. We can just go ahead and climb out of here.
Going forward, there are going to be a lot more combat encounters that have like edges and like levitating platforms. And by and large, it is always faster to knock an enemy off the ledge than it is to just try and outright defeat them. So you're going to be seeing Soulmass go for a lot of those down smashes close to ledges to just straight up knock enemies off the platform.
Yeah, because it's going to be faster just to knock them off and not have to hit them multiple times. We're also going to encounter a different enemy type toward the end of this current section, which the down slashes and abusing the story mode's death mechanic with platforming is just much faster. Because if I'm in story mode, if you're on any platform like this and you fall off, it just respawns you on the last platform you were on. You don't have to go all the way back to the last checkpoint. So, very easy mode to pick up if you're interested in speedrunning this game. And this is our introduction to the next major enemy. Enjoy this little cutscene.
Enjoy.
So yeah, these guys, these are the big tanky guys. I don't really know what else to call them. Nice stagger. Ooh, very nice fight on that, actually. What they do is, if you don't damage them fast enough, they will warp away to a different side of the screen. So killing it before it had a chance to warp away, that's optimal. That was perfect. And here we're going to come up to another one of our hub areas where we got to go either left or right to unlock. I'm actually going to immediately go left because we're closest to it right now. And we'll do some down slashes to get through this first part quicker, because we know we got stuff below us.
I remember what Soulmass said earlier about not having fall damage and knowing where to fall. You're going to see that a lot. Because one of the things that's really cool about Neva is that the levels are gigantic. And you move around them, it doesn't feel like you're moving very far until you realize, oh my gosh, I've climbed
great,
3 screens.
Demonstration of just how high up we are a little bit later into this section. But yeah, you saw me do something cool there where I knew exactly where that platform was going to break apart. Oop, got hit by that one. So I knew exactly where I needed to do my jump. Ooh, good. Oh, very nice. And there's going to be a second one over here.
Yeah, anytime you can
one hit
without
away.
it warping to the other side of the stage.
It's fine. He came back to the middle, so I didn't really lose much time.
Like that.
There's our first flower. In this section, we gotta do 2 different flowers to proceed, so that's the one for the left. Now we're gonna make our way back up and then head to the right from that hub area that we were at earlier. Just a moment ago. First, some platforming. again, these are all platforms that start spawning in based off when you hit a trigger. So I kind of know where the triggers are, so I can just immediately start going toward the platforms. You notice there are some platforms... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking... Oh, sorry, go on. No, I was just thinking, in summer, you were doing a lot of calling Neva's name to encourage Neva to come to where you are. Here, you're just letting Neva really do
at this point, Neva is very...
Neva wants.
Again, very independent. So there's not much we're going to be asking from Neva in this section. At least to a point. And again, this is all about storytelling without dialogue. Neva and Alba's, again, companionship as it grows across the game, all told without any sort of dialogue. It's all just everything you see and do in the game, which is beautiful. So yeah, that's a good call out. Right now, Neva, very independent. We don't have to call for her to do anything. She's very just doing her own thing right now. But it is time for the right side, which is a little bit harder. And this is the introduction to the enemies I was talking about, where I'm going to abuse the death mechanic. So 2 slashes and then a down slash to kill it. Immediately able to proceed when I spawn in on the middle of the platform.
First time I played this, those flying enemies were the single most annoying part of the game for me. So seeing it done that quickly
it's
and that efficiently is,
once you realize you can do that in story mode, it makes those enemies just so much. It's very cathartic, like BD said, because these are very annoying enemies casually. Again, 2 slashes and a down slash, good to go. We're gonna let this one do his thing so he doesn't hit me. Sometimes he'll do an attack which will hit you out of the air, and again, that's gonna waste a lot of time. We don't want that to happen, so I gave him a moment to see what attack he would do, just so I wouldn't get hit by the attack in case it's the one he chose. And again, this is all environmental storytelling. You see just the world breaking apart because the corruption is destroying it. Like we said, this is a story about the journey from life to death, the circle of life. And the seasons are symbolic of that, obviously. Summer. Spring being the beginning of life. Summer, fall, winter. Progressing toward death. That Neva's screwing up my flow there. That's fine, though. Sometimes Neva's... AI will do weird things in this fight, and you can't really control that. Yeah, she does her own thing. So here's where I called out about, like, here's where we're going to find out just how high up we are, because we don't have fall damage, right? But there is platforms below us, so we can just fall down. And we're back in the hub section.
Hey, what do you know?
Oh.
This one's a little different. This one's timed, so we just gotta be doing our platforming in a specific manner. You want to get over across those platforms on the very right before they despawn, because you see they're gonna lower down right now. So we have plenty of time, but if you don't move fast enough, then you have to redo everything, and it's very slow. Once I do a bunch of regrabs up this, it's going to trigger another one of those chase sequences. And once again, we're just going to skip it, because it's so much faster to skip it.
It's so much faster. That's just a little sneak peek of the cutscenes that you will be watching.
And I will say this one in particular is actually
quite
quite difficult casually. You'll have fun with that one. when it used to still be part of the speed run, that was definitely a part of the run where if you took a death, that's where you restart. And here's the portion of the game where I start to call out that it's very foggy. This might actually be a horror game. I believe we have entered Silent Hill. Headcanon, this is Silent Hill right
this
now.
is now a Silent Hill game.
Yes, this is dog ending.
This is dog ending.
Now, if you've ever seen Princess Mononoke, you know
hey.
all about corrupted boars, right? So, yep, we have our corrupted boars. Here's the part where I just kind of have to wait for Neva, unfortunately. Again, Neva's off doing her own thing. But she is scared right now. And her fear in us reassuring her is going to, again, increase our bond. And, well, it kind of teaches her that we do need to work together to get out of here. We'll give her some pets, and she'll feel better. And here we got to deal with our first corrupted boar. Gonna just avoid him a couple times so he'll turn back and forth. And once he gets over here, take out the corruption hanging out inside of his mouth. And then we have a forced cutscene here. Where we see when Neva howls, it spawns all this growth on the corrupted boar. It's pretty neat. Go ahead, Zoka. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nature is healing. Well, I just want to say, while we're learning and watching this bond between Alva and Neva grow, I just want to remind us all that we are here for Blue Pass service dogs. And Blue Pass service dogs, their mission was brought about because scientific studies have confirmed the transformative nature of the human-canine bond. And as a result, animal-assisted therapies have grown dramatically. So for children with autism, the comfort and companionship of a well-trained dog can serve as the catalyst for remarkable changes in sleeping, eating, and social behaviors. And if you're in this world that is definitely not Silent Hill, saving the world from corruption, apparently. So please go ahead. Any donation you can make to our cause will absolutely help us with this wonderful charity. And getting their goals of helping families with autism provide their children with more tools that they need and a lifelong bond to develop their own independence.
Exactly.
Much like Neva is right now, actually. Neva's just fine up there.
No, seriously, thank you all so much. It's been an incredible week so far, and I know we have a lot of really awesome runs coming up, as well as the rest of this awesome Neva run. So any and all help you can help give to Blue Pass Service Dogs is going to help us get those milestones, but also it can't be overstated how big of a cause this is. So thank you all so much.
And because of you all, we've already raised over $4,000 for this charity. We're just $1,000 short, well, a little under, rather, $1,000 short of reaching our goal of $5,000, at which point we get to name a puppy. And, you know, the more I watch this game, the more I'm really rooting for that name.
I believe in you. I believe in you, chat. Let's get those donations in. We can get a lot closer before Neva ends. Mm-hmm. Now, you saw there was a boar segment there. Yeah, there was a boar segment there where you saw a bunch of enemies trying to get to a boar and take over its body. So it's faster to not let these enemies crawling on the screen take over the bodies of these dead animals. So I was able to avoid the boar getting possessed, which is a big time save. Otherwise, I would have had to do that boar fight. And there you want to make sure that after you kill those birds the first time, you want them to stay down. You don't want those crawling enemies to get to them and repossess them. And here, scripted fall. into a scripted boar fight. These enemies, doesn't really matter if we kill them or not. We're on a timer right now, and they're going to do that roar. They're going to disappear, and they're going to take over the boar. What we're going to do is lure the boar all the way to the right, because when we progress after this fight, it's going to be to the right. So we want to do this whole fight on the right side of the screen. And again, that's by dodging two attacks and then just taking care of the corruption once it comes out of the boar's mouth. And then we can just proceed forward. The only time we have to watch that Neva cutscene with the flowers springing up on the corpses is the first time. But here we are about to get our first Neva ability. I like to call this the Neva Bazooka, or the Neva Rocket Launcher. So going forward, we have a new ability that we can use with Neva. Neva will shoot across the screen and latch onto whatever enemy we want Neva to attack for us. Very useful for some of the combat encounters, but also required for some platforming, like right here.
Yeah, this is the first time we've talked about those sort of flower platforms. You do have to hit them to trigger them, and in cases like this, they're out of your reach, so you need to be able to fire Neva off to trigger those platforms so you can make it across the screen. It's so satisfying. Like, it really is truly satisfying to just hurl Neva across the screen and just absolutely obliterate some poor fool.
It really is. Especially all these lesser enemies, because Neva will just, kill them immediately. But here's an example of a combat encounter where we have to use Neva in a very specific way to make sure that these birds don't get spawned. So I sent that one across to take care of that one climbing toward the bird. Send it to the right to take care of that one climbing up. We avoided either of these corpses of the birds being repossessed and slowing us down. These platforms above me are actually for a hidden collectible. There's a bunch of flowers you can collect that are hidden throughout the game, which unlock a secret cutscene similar to the mechanic of gathering the mementos or whatever in Greece. So you'll see there's a lot of platforms that I do skip or some paths that I don't go down in this run. Ooh. One fall. I'll donate $5 for that. And
I'll match that.
I don't fall very much, but if I do fall.
So will I. Actually, I was wondering about collectibles because I'm going to segue into a completely different game here, if y'all don't mind.
Go for it. I'm sure it's about Banjo-Tooie.
It is, in fact, about Banjo-Tooie, because we do also have a bid war open where you can choose to either save the Jiggy or save the frames. And, I mean, I've learned that a Jiggy is a collectible in Banjo-Tooie. But this particular one is apparently long and hard to get, so runners usually avoid it, which is why you can save it or you can save the frames. Your donations help decide whether our runner 8129 is going to have to go save that Jiggy or save the frames. But I do have a donation here, actually, who has an opinion on that. Anonymous sent in $10 to say, if Neva can save themselves, so can the Jiggy. And that's
so
some
true.
strong words.
That's so true, though. Real talk.
But I mean, it is true. You can be independent as well, Jiggy. But right now, Save the Jiggy is in the lead at $19.82. That donation brought Save the Frames up to $10. So, if you want Jiggies to learn to be independent, like Neva, get those donations in. And we need to figure that out by 20 minutes into the run. So we're already almost halfway into this run. So you don't have too much time. That's just 2 short runs away.
If you don't teach the Jiggy independence, no one will. I'm just saying.
You teach a Jiggy to save itself, it will save itself forever.
All right, we're falling now into the boss fight of this area, which can be a little difficult to do optimally, so I'm going to focus up. And BD can kind of talk about how this works.
Yeah, this is a stag fight, and the stag is mean. You're going to see a lot of these sort of back and forth, and then just like the earlier enemies, rather than the animal itself, we're fighting the corruption within the animal. So we're waiting for the stag to drop, and then for the corruption to pop out. And we would prefer it to not do that, because obviously we're trying to beat this fast as we can. But these ground pounds will trigger the ground antlers to pop up. And oh yeah, if you didn't notice, there's a second one on the screen now. And so we get to fight on both at the same time. This is a very, very good example of why story mode is awesome, because we can just damage boost through some of these antlers. And then when both stags are on the ground at the same time, you fling Neva at one, you run to the other, you take it out, and then you repeat until you can take them both out at the same time. And a double ground pound here means that we can take care of this. And
it should be the last
it's
one.
It's really just a bunch of rinse and repeat. But this should be, yep, and that's it.
And that was optimal. The problem with that fight is that it can be extremely hard to time hitting both at the same time while they're on the ground with the Neva bazooka. But we got that perfectly.
That name for it, the Neva bazooka.
That's just what I call it.
I would like to declare that name canon now.
I believe in it.
I believe in it. But yeah, the end of every season is an absolutely gorgeous interaction.
And can we talk about this music?
The music's incredible. It's by
so good.
Berlinist, the same artist who did the music for Grease. Extremely emotive, as it should be. But it's now nighttime, and what happened to Neva?
Yeah, you'll notice it's not winter yet.
Neva? Neva? Neva!
Welcome to the horror game, everybody. I said it was a horror game before. If you didn't believe me yet, now it actually is a horror game.
We've never told a lie in our lives.
So this section of the game is kind of the symbolic, weird limbo place. I just say it's the underworld because we've fallen down underneath the world, and everything here is clearly deceased. We do have a platform below us, though, so let's downslash. You'll see in some of these big pan-out shots, while it's really beautiful to look at, it does make Alba very tiny on the screen. So, like, if you're playing on Steam Deck or something, I understand that it's kind of hard to play the game when you get to screens like that. They did add an accessibility feature for that, which makes Alba a little bit easier to see, which I have turned on right now, but you would see it a little bit better if you were on a little tiny screen. That shadowy wolf back there, surely that doesn't mean anything.
Not at all. This is so unsettling the first time you play it. It really is. Oh, look.
We've been reunited with Neva. And now we're also thinking with portals. So on top of being dark, this area has a lot of like maze-like sections and platforming puzzles involving portals. That was rude.
Very rude. But yeah, this part of the game really, like, the game takes a step up, both in terms of obviously thematic, power, but also the difficulty and the platforming really does start to crank up a little bit. So the lessons you've learned up to this point, you're going to have to really lean on them because, oops.
I forgot which section I was in.
That's a $10
Yep,
match
that's
now.
$10 now.
Not every fall has a platform
Yep.
underneath it. And now we get a new enemy.
Yeah, you see the enemies here are similar to the ones that we had in the overworld. Oh, I don't like what's happening in the background though. That's
Oh, I don't like that at all. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and I really don't like it.
Again, environmental storytelling is everything in this game. You will notice new things all the time.
I mean, I did not want to mention it, but those platform supports look very, very disconcerting to me.
Surely nothing's bad now that we have a blood moon, right?
Yeah, I mean, only good things happen during blood moons.
Yeah,
Especially to wolves.
like killing the bitrate of the stream.
Remember what we said about Alba getting small?
Yeah, Alba, very small on a very bright red background. That won't last too long, though. We're at another hub, and this one I like to go left first. It doesn't matter which way you go for this one, as with most of them. There will be one after this where I will call it where you have to go right first. But I just like going left first because this one is really just a little bit of platform. And then it's just a combat encounter. So we go left, but we come out on the right up here. And surely that environmental storytelling of zooming out on that big pillar means nothing at the moment.
Nothing at all.
And here's our combat encounter. Fastest way to do this is to try and not knock them through the portals. If they get knocked through the portals, it just wastes time. In that case, I did take it because he only had one hit left, but it's good if they get grouped together like this because you can try and hit both of them at the same time. And that went pretty good, actually. Yeah, all the enemies here in the underworld are similar to the ones in the overworld, just with these weird corrupted flowers on them, and they all explode when they die. Here's our first flower. And that's what one of those optional collectible flowers looks like right there in the center. We won't be getting those, but that's what they look like.
Oh, so I see you too have chosen to save the frames.
Oh yeah, we're saving all the frames in this run.
All the frames.
Chat, you can as well with your donation and selecting Save the Frames. Just ! Donate in chat to get that handy link. Make sure you select that incentive option. And all of your donations will get us closer to both that Banjo 2-week glitch exhibition and also our $5,000 goal of, I'm just calling it now, naming this puppy Neva.
Let's do it. Name the puppy Neva.
Do it.
Remember what I said about that pillar?
Oh, hi.
I may have liked the wolf better when they were just hanging out in the background.
Yeah, we will meet that.
It's
We will meet
fine.
that wolf eventually. That went pretty well. Again, you want to kill those things before they go and spawn on a different area of the screen, so killing it before it warps away, always fastest.
And that is our second hub flower.
Yep, and we are going to now make our way back to the hub and then proceed to the second half of this underworld segment of the game, which becomes very dark and maze-like, so I'm sorry if you don't like dark places. There's fast ways to do this, but I'm just doing the safe way, which is the intended way to do it, really. just a little puzzle platform segment.
And we're out.
Yep, we're out. And this is where I thought I was before. I can down slash off the right of that platform. And into the darkness we go. This unlocks another Neva ability. The main one for the remainder of the game. Not just the Neva flashlight, which is nice, but now we will be completely combined and companioned with Neva. Neva has become a part of us and will now strengthen all of our attacks. So when I'm slashing, you'll see Neva pop out and be part of my slash. I call this the Neva slash. It's more powerful than our normal slash.
It is much more powerful than the normal slash.
And it will take out enemies just in one hit, essentially, unless it's the big ones, which, again, it makes them a lot faster, too. Scripted part here, I do need to send Neva right there to that wall to take out that enemy. And then, yeah, we're just going to be navigating through this dark area with some portals. So we'll do this for a little bit. If you have anything you want to chat about, Zoku.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lux, because I could use a distraction from how scary this place is.
Yep.
Big chicken, me. But speaking of animals, again, we are all here raising money in support of Blue Pass Service Dogs, which provides service dogs to families with autism. And their expertly trained autism service dogs offer safety and freedom to families. A Blue Pass service dog's primary role is to provide safety for a child out in public, and the dogs are trained to prevent a child from bolting either into the street or away from parents in a crowded area, and they provide children with much needed companionship, increased social acknowledgement from peers, opportunities for independence, and increased levels of confidence. So again, you are helping children with autism learn to grow much in the way that we all would like a chance to grow. And of course, when you donate, you get a chance to win this beautiful game, along with some other wonderful games that we have showcased this week in Multithon 2025. Ricky and Vicky from the first day, UFO 50 from the second day, Just Crow Things from yesterday. This beautiful game you are watching right now, as terrifyingly dark as this section is. And of course, our sponsor game, Beastie Ball. So !donate in the chat will get you that handy link to our Tiltify campaign page where you can make a donation, have a chance to win this game, get us closer to our milestone of that Banjo-Tooie glitch exhibition, our goal of naming a dog Neva. I'm continuing to call that our goal. And of course, support kids with autism by getting them a puppy. I also want to say that there's a very good pun in chat right now calling this Neva-gating.
I do love that. That is very good.
And welcome to the final boss of this area. This is largely just a scripted fight. All we gotta do is survive it. On story mode, obviously, that's pretty easy because we don't have a health bar. But I will just dodge the attacks just because I can. You saw me in the other segments while Zoku was chatting, just doing a lot of optimized platforming. When you know where to go in the dark, you can get through it a lot faster than normal. So you just saw a little bit of that. And yeah, this fight is just all about dodging the attacks and waiting for it to get to the phase where it goes up in the air and exposes the corruption inside of its mouth. So you can Neva bazooka it and it falls down so you can get your hits in. We do this 3 times and then the fight will be over. So we're in the last phase now. Also, this music is incredible.
It's so good.
And that does it for the
Nice.
horror section of the game. It was all just a terrible dream.
I mean, it was a pretty bad dream.
I think it was a pretty bad dream.
Who here hasn't needed pet cuddles after a bad dream?
I know, I love it so
Honestly,
much. But now we're finally out of the fall. It's time for the winter, and here we are in young adulthood Neva. Neva's essentially almost full grown at this point, and we can ride on her in this section. So that's the jump dash is now replaced by a jump dash that's on Neva, and it's a little easier to do. So you're just going to see dashing across the screen real quickly. There's also going to be some parts where I can't ride on Neva, so we're going to be dismounting in specific areas to traverse before we can call Neva back in, like right here. I adore this.
yes, if you're keeping track, Neva is now this big.
Yes, Neva's huge.
BD, you've met me in person, so I just want to say that Alba is living my dream right now. I have always wanted to ride a puppy. A dog.
I mean, you could do a lot worse than Alba is right now.
Yeah, I particularly love the winter section of this game. It is super fun. Also, the music is beautiful, very understated. Just light touches on the piano.
So I do understand we have one season we haven't seen yet, spring, but can I ask you if you have a favorite season? Both of you.
In real life or in Neva?
In Neva. But if you want to do in real life, sure, go ahead and tell me. And if chat wants to send in donations to tell me their favorite seasons in real life or that they've seen so far, I'll take it.
My favorite season in real life is winter, because I live in the south. It is very hot, so I love the reprieve of winter. And it also is my favorite season in the game. Again, like I said, I love the aesthetic of winter in this game. It is beautiful, and I love adult Neva. What do you think, BD?
Yeah, winter in Neva is the best. I, in real life, am much more partial to fall, and it is fall, not autumn. I'm a big hoodie season enthusiast, and I love the feeling of like fall afternoons. But in this game in particular, winter is, I think, the best season.
So we have a lot of storytelling going on in winter as well. We just met the main enemy, the main boss of the game, which is the Queen of Corruption. So we'll see her a little bit more as we progress. We did skip seeing her initially in a cutscene earlier in the game. And also we have
Whoa, who's that?
another wolf that just showed up. This is
He's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. This is the section where we do have to go right from the hub first before going left, because it triggers the story segments with this other wolf. So once I finish this this right area and we come back out, we'll see that wolf again, I promise. Not the last time we will see the other wolf. As you can see, the gimmick on this right section is the mirrors, the reflections of the water. And it'll make more sense why that's the gimmick in just a moment, once we get to the section proper.
It's a little thing, but I love the sort of Yoshi ditch of dismounting, jump off of Neva while you're riding. That kind of little platforming thing just feels so good and makes me so happy.
Yeah, here's the gimmick with the mirror sections. You can only see the enemies and platforms in the mirrors. in the reflection of the water or whatever else is going on in this area. The
Oh,
ice.
that's so cool.
In story mode, it does make...
Pun unintended.
Yeah, in story mode, you can see these platforms above. If we were playing on adventure mode, these all would be invisible up above on top where I'm at right now. You would only be able to see down and below. It is quite disorienting the first time you play this casually. And this fight I'm about to jump into is still disorienting on story mode, because I'm going to be looking at the mirror on the right, so all my controls are essentially mirrored in this point, trying to do this combat. We also didn't talk about this new enemy, which is spawns inside these blocks. You have to jump over and hit them from the other side. Yeah, made pretty good work of that encounter, even though my controls were mirrored.
It is very easy to lose yourself in that room. Like,
Yeah,
if you're not locked in.
yeah, that combat encounter can go south real quick. But again, you wouldn't be able to see these platforms normally if we weren't on story mode, except for what's above us. Oop, that's another $5. That's 15.
And if you're just tuning in, we are absolutely going to match every death that Soulmass takes in this run. Unintentional death.
Unintentional, yes.
Emphasis on unintentional. But BD, Soulmass, and I will be doing that, and we'd love it if you joined in to donate to Blue Pass Service Dogs.
But yeah, shout out to the devs, because there's a lot of platforming late game like this that casually used to be extremely difficult, and they responded to the feedback by, you know, making the platforming easier for story mode, which increases accessibility, and I'm all about accessibility in games. Grease was a very accessible game, and I always believed that this should be an accessible game as well. So shout out to Nomada for really listening to their fans.
Nomada is... I mean, if you can expect, if you played Grease and you've played this, Nomada has a very particular philosophy to what they want their games to be like. And so it's a real testament to them that they're able to listen and tune their games to be more accessible without sacrificing the elements of story and the elements of the theme that are so incredibly important to these games, making them easier for people to, you know, appreciate and engage with that story without having to worry about seeing platforms and jumping over platforms that they may not be able to.
Oh, here he is.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the boy. So BD and I like to... This wolf doesn't really have a name to my knowledge. BD and I have dubbed this wolf Shadow the Wolf, so I wish I was...
This is Shadow the Wolf, yes.
I wish I was cool as Shadow.
So cool.
And clearly Neva is going to be taking a liking to Shadow as well.
Understandably so, I mean. So cool.
He's so cool. Now this is a pretty long segment of me just dashing all the way to the left, so you have about 1 minute here, Zoku, if you had something you wanted to chat about.
Absolutely, just reminding us all that we are getting ever closer to needing to see what's happening with Banjo-Tooie. And I have a $10 donation here from Herminator, who says, "What a fool you are. I'm a boss. How can you kill a boss? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be naive? There is no escape. No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy." You know what? I'm going to take it. I do not know that reference, but I'm assuming Shadow has said that.
No.
Because Shadow's just so cool.
That is a Elder Scrolls reference. That is Dagoth.
Okay.
Thank you for the Uwu Dagoth. I appreciate it.
The
10 out of
Herminator
10.
says so.
10 out of 10.
And that did go towards saving the frame, so at least something is being saved here.
Thank you, Herminator. And short cutscene here just to show off how cool Shadow is. And clearly, you know, with somebody as cool as Shadow, I mean, there's no way Neva can resist.
0.
0 chance. Alright, so after that encounter, we are now very close to the left area puzzle platform segment of this, which is some of the hardest puzzle platforming in the game. But only, you know, your first time through. There is one puzzle platform that is a little difficult at the very end of it, but hopefully won't give me any trouble. The last one had a gimmick of mirrors. This one is going to have a gimmick of not necessarily like Yoku blocks in Mega Man, but similar. This is going to have blocks where you destroy the block and then they respawn after a certain period of time. So we're going to have to destroy some blocks to proceed through, as well as destroy some blocks in order to create platforms for us to get through areas. We do want to make sure that we always have Neva with us, so we're calling Neva to us, because one hit with Neva will take out the blocks, as opposed to 2 hits with just our sword. We use the Neva bazooka on that one to get here through faster. And then here, we want to immediately jump to over here, get over to the left before it respawns. Otherwise, we gotta destroy that block again, and that's slow.
Those blocks are very annoying.
Yeah, here's one that can be annoying, but it's kind of straightforward. You just destroy the middle one, or the bottom one, I mean, the middle one, so you can use this one as a platform, then destroy the top one, jump across, Neva bazooka. Pretty straightforward. There's another one, again, I said is harder than that, and that's the one I'm a little worried about, but we'll do our best. I think I've got it. This combat encounter, though, can be a little annoying. That guy got away from me. Okay, that's fine. Now we're going to spawn in 4. I want to try and get them grouped up like this, because the faster we can get them grouped up in the center, the faster this is going to go. And that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Winter is in every way a step up in difficulty, and in a casual play or in your first playthrough, the game's done a really good job of sort of building up to this point. And it's a testament to
Here's the
just
room I hate.
Yep, here it is.
Slash bazooka, double jumps, slash. Yeah, that's just. You have to do that a very specific way, otherwise you don't have enough time before these respawn in.
Yeah, the platforming controls being as clean and as smooth as they are is what makes those even possible, and what makes this game, like, I hate to say fun, because this game is very fun, but the game can afford to be this hard because its platforming is so good.
Yeah, the like BD said at the very beginning of this run, just everything about the platforming and movement in this game feels so good to play. The Neva studio really just did a great job with making it feel rewarding to do all of this dashing and double jumping. Also, the sound that the game makes when you destroy these blocks is so satisfying.
It's...
But we are on our way out of here, and then this is going to be the last time that we have one of these hub areas, so we're going to go back to the middle to finish up this final hub, and then once we do that, we'll be heading to the final area of the game. So if y'all want to get some more donations and get us closer to that $5,000 or the incentive for Banjo-Tooie, now's your chance.
And a quick update, we are only $150 away from having that glitch exhibition incentive met.
Let's go.
So,
Let's go.
I know we can get that before the end of the run. Let's go, chat. It's only $100. Alright, so almost back here to the hub, where we are going to discover our newfound friend Shadow needs a little bit of help. So we're going to give Shadow some help.
Game never stops being beautiful.
And like every other encounter, this one is just about kill the enemies as quickly as possible. So they all spawn in from very particular spots on the floor. I'm going to let that guy just be for a sec, because Neva will kill him faster than we used to do. So I don't need to worry too much about one-cycling him. It's pretty easy with Neva. And we've saved Shadow.
I still get chills when the totems go off every time.
You want to be so careful with these platforms here, because we follow all the way down to the bottom. Clearly, that's a lot of time lost. But here is the platforming section, which is the one that I actually sent feedback to Namada for, and I'm so happy they fixed. This is a platforming thing that's exclusive just to this very small segment of the game, which is hitting these enemies and getting a boost off of them into the air. When the game first came out, the boost that you got off hitting those enemies was nowhere near as big as it is now. So it made this platforming section very, very difficult. But they increased the boost a little bit, so it made the platforming doable. So thank you again, Nevada, so much. Yes. This screen in particular, I think I spent 15 to 20 minutes on in my casual playthrough. Just like, how do I do this? Almost messed it up there.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to say about this. This is not, even on a casual playthrough, this game is not going to take up that much of your time. Like, it is very much, I would say, if you can, you should play it all in one sitting, if possible. Obviously, that might not be the case, but it's definitely not so big that you couldn't do it all in one sitting, and it really does make for a very powerful experience.
So you can see me doing this fight a very particular way. And we're quickly out of there.
Nice.
And this will be our last platforming section with these enemy boosters, whatever they are. I don't know what they're called.
Friends. I've decided they're now called friends.
I don't know if these things are really friends.
Helpers.
You do want to make sure that you're very careful with your D-pad or your stick when you're in this area. If you accidentally down slash, very punishing. So make sure you're only holding right or left. Don't hold down. I've down slashed to my doom many times there. But we are again about to meet the final boss of the game. It's not time for the fight yet, though. But one more encounter here with the Queen of Corruption and the last skippable chase sequence. She's going to spawn in a really big, scary thing, and we don't have to deal with it.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll just skip that.
Nope.
We're just going to nope right out of that.
Nope.
Nope. We do have to see it here, though, because at the end of the sequence, we've got this little story bit before the final cutscene of this area.
I mean, Chad, if you do find yourself wanting to deal with it, a reminder that your donations... Oh, hey, Shadow. I see why he's so cool now.
So
cool.
But, you know, if you want to experience Shadow for yourself and deal with this thing for yourself, your donations get you entered into a sweepstakes to win this, among other games we featured this week.
Now there is a small cutscene here that I get to skip, which is just leading into the final area of the game. This is where we would get a cutscene showing Neva going off with Shadow. This final area we do by ourselves without Neva. This is the end of winter, and the trudge up the snowy mountain to face down with the personification of death, this queen of corruption. So if you ever wondered what the true winter is like, it's this. This is winter. And this particular area is my favorite in the game because it's all just pure platforming, and it feels so good to do it right.
It really is. One of the reasons why I love platformers so much is because, for me, they're some of the most rewarding things to do, is to really execute a platforming section. And Neva is really good about making you feel really good about accomplishing a platforming section.
There will be one enemy encounter here, which can be a little annoying at this point because, again, we don't have Neva with us again. Oh.
It's okay. I believe in Alba.
I believe in Alba as well.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes spitting globs of goo at us are going to come out in these blocks like before. They take 2 hits because we don't have Neva with us.
Yeah, this is a combination of 2 of the most annoying enemy types in the game. The block spawns, and then these little just lobbers that really, in story mode, all they do is just hit you and annoy the daylights out of you. I mean, more gong gaming.
More gongs. We need more gongs in games.
We really do.
So again, there's just a lot of pure platforming in this segment. Hitting these gongs that change positions of platforms. Getting your jumps just right so that you can make a lot of these really difficult gaps. And just a couple combat encounters. So we did the hardest one really already. We're going to have one more that's a little bit easier, but it does feature its own troubles to do quickly.
And yes, even Neva has an elevator section.
Yes, there's our elevator section. This screen, interesting on a console controller. I'm just going to neutral fall, then jump. Oh, there's another death. That's 20. I called it out. It's very difficult to do this neutral fall and double jump for some reason on a controller or on console. I am playing on PC, but I play with a controller.
I mean, we're just going to say you're throwing for charity. Lux.
Exactly. $20 for charity. Here's the other combat section. So this is going to have 2 of the big guys. So we want to try and kill them before they warp away from us. Unfortunately, that's not going to be really possible, I think, for both of them. We'll try and get it for one of them, though. Yeah, they just warp away too fast.
Too far, though. Oh,
well. Oh, wow, that one went all the way to the right. So what I'm going to do is wait for him to just respawn on his own. Yeah, there we go. Then he'll come to the center for me. Oh, and all the way to the right. Ooh, that's cool. That's really good RNG. Because the ladder is right here.
Convenient.
RNG just smiled upon the end of this run. Because we are getting close to the very end. Just got a couple more platform things to do. I love this, the horns in this segment, just the brass. Oh yeah, one more combat encounter we're about to get into. This one does have a very particular way that you want to encounter as well. With 2 gongs and platforms that go up and down. So you want to hit that enemy off. Another one's going to spawn in. Guess he decided not to. That's fine. We'll hit this bird. Again, just like earlier in the game, 2 slashes and then a down. We want to hit this guy off the edge. Another one's going to spawn. There we go. Okay. And then we hit this gong. Hit that guy off the right. And we're good to go.
Easy every time.
Every time. This is a platforming puzzle, which is not much of a puzzle. We're just going to lure the guy over to here to the left so we can jump up here. Then lure him over to the right. Easy as that. If you want to collect the flower that's in the middle, it's a little bit harder. But we just want to progress. And this is the final platforming segment right here. We are almost to the final boss. This ladder climb, definitely scary in adventure mode because you get hit by these falling blocks and it's very easy to just die. But we can dodge them. And if we take a hit, it's not a big deal because it'll respawn our dash jump. And that's it. We are approaching the final boss now.
It is very nice of the game to wait until the very, very last possible platforming section to just start throwing trolls at you.
Right? It's time to face off with the Queen of Corruption. Now, this boss fight is very RNG. She's got multiple different attacks she can do. What we don't want to see is dashes or flying, because if she dashes or jumps up and flies across the screen, that's getting her away from you, and you're not doing damage while she's away from you. You want to stay close and keep getting hits on her back. If you try and hit her from the front, she will parry you with her sword, and you don't want that either. So it's about this dance that we're about to do with this final boss, trying to stay behind her and keep getting damage in without her getting away from us. But first, a little bit of a ladder. What a thrill.
Mm-hmm.
And she's up here enjoying dinner. We're about to interrupt her meal, so understandably she might be a little upset with us, but we have to.
I mean, I would.
She has to be defeated. I mean, clearly, winter has to end for spring to begin.
I mean, snakes are incredibly tasty.
So I'm going to focus up here, and again, hopefully RNG is kind to me, and this goes pretty quick. Don't like seeing the dash.
Again, this is one of those fights where
It's double
you
dash.
just want to be doing damage the entire time.
That dash is fine because she was close to the edge of the screen. Same with that one. She's almost dead. Or at least you would think so, but she has 2 phases.
Two-phase boss.
Neva.
And we are joined by adult Neva, who is now ready to destroy the Queen of Corruption with us. This fight going to go pretty quick, because Neva slashes, again, are very powerful. It's all about just hoping she doesn't do too many dashes across the screen, which she's not being nice, but it's fine. She's going to be down here in just a couple more hits, I think. And again, we're not going to spoil the story for you. I am going to skip this cutscene. You'll have to play the game yourself if you want to see the story. And that's the end of winter. We are now in spring, which is, for the most part, a glorified auto-scroller. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you so much, Multithon, for accepting Neva. I think this is one of the first times, if not the first time, it's been featured at a marathon event. So I really appreciate y'all taking on Neva and allowing me to show it off for everybody. I really love this game, and everybody should definitely check it out. And if you're interested in speedrunning it, check out the speedrun Discord. It's a combined Grease and Neva Discord now. And it can be found on the speedrun.com page for the game. But here's Neva, and she now has her own puppy. This is Bruma. So just like the beginning of the game, we're going to kind of lead Bruma around and do some things with Bruma. It's just a matter of just leading Bruma around. Like I said, it's kind of glorified auto-scroller. So BD, do you have any final shout-outs while we're waiting on Bruma?
Yeah. First off, thank you to soulmass218 for asking me to couch for this run. I adore this game. It's way out my normal sort of wheelhouse, but it's an absolutely brilliant experience that I think everyone should play. Shout out to Binary Breakers.
Let's go.
For being an awesome community and for also having, both myself and Soulmass as part of it for some reason. And yeah, just huge shout out to Multithon. It's been an incredible week. Being able to be part of it in some way has been an honor, and I am really, really excited to see. I'm really excited to see 5,000 because I know we're going to hit 5,000.
We're going to do it together.
We are. We're going to do it. Also, I love this part with Bruma playing with the deer. This is so adorable. Neva's just going to come along and be like, okay, that's enough. Let's go.
We got places to go. Come on.
Again, Neva taking on the role that we had at the beginning. Neva is now teaching all these things to her puppy, Bruma. So again, this is a reflection of something we saw at the very beginning. Bruma's going to try and jump across here. And then Neva's going to save him. Now, it's not quite yet at time, but we are getting pretty close to calling time for this game. So I will call out when that is. We just got a couple more screens to dash across. You do need to...
We're also going to talk.
I was going to say, you do need to encourage Bruma here, because otherwise Bruma won't jump down. BD, what were you going to say?
We are not going to talk about what actually happens here at the end, because we want you to play this game.
Exactly. I'm not going to show the cutscene. Know that it will make you cry, but it is a...
Yeah, it will make you sob.
It is a beautiful ending to a beautiful game. It is well worth the entire experience. So here, gonna quick trigger a cutscene, and then once I come out of this cutscene, it will be almost time for time. Again, I'll call that out when it happens. We're just gonna dash a little bit. We're gonna touch a bird that's laying on the ground, and as soon as I touch it, it will be time. It's like 3, 2, 1, time.
GG.
GG's.
So I'll show a little bit of that, but no, I'm going to skip it because I don't want you all to experience the game for yourself.
You don't, yeah. That's. You thought this was a horror game before.
So I actually do have my splits pulled up over here because I wanted this to be, submittable in case it was a PB. What's the time on the screen? I kind of know what it is, I think.
The time on the screen we have is 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 44 seconds.
Let's go. In-game time, it is a 1:32 flat in-game. That is a 2.5 minute PB.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all, I want to say real quick, Soulmass has been putting work into this, and it's a testament that they just got that huge of a PB on Marathon, and I think there's still a lot we can do here, and there's still a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not done with this game yet. And yeah, I think I can push this a little bit lower for myself. But again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Multithon, for having Neva. Thank you, BD, for having my back here on comms, and Zoku for being such a great host. Hope you all enjoyed the run. Enjoy the next run as well. Let's have some Banjo-Tooie, y'all. Bye!
Thank you both for showing off that beautiful game. Oh my, I was not doing my job because I was stunned, speechless through most of it. But and chat, as a reminder, we are donating $20 per unintentional death over the course of the run. I'm sorry to put the two of you on the spot like this. So if you would like to mash that ! donate in the chat, or that handy banner below the stream, will get you the link to our Tiltify campaign page. And while you're there, when you're making that donation, please select an option in our open poll to either save the Jiggy or save the frames for Banjo-Tooie, because that's coming up real soon. And while you're at it, again, all your donations will also help us unlock that glitch showcase. But for now, Soulmass, BD, and I have a donation to make, and perhaps some of you do too. So we will see